Dominance. What is it? Is it important? Do we even know what it is? Hey, thanks for joining me again. It's Pam once more with another dog training tips in March, our March Madness training, and today we're going to talk about dominance. Now, when I even say that, you probably have an idea in your head what I mean by that. You've probably got a picture of a pack of wolves tracking across the snow in single file with the alphas at the front and betas behind all the way down to the Amiga trailing at the end. When they get to their cave, all the other wolves wait for the alphas to go in. They file in the correct order. Only the alphas get on the sofa and have control over the remote control. Oh yeah, that's not really dogs or wolves, is it? That we have a bit of a false view over what dominance actually means. And to quickly go back to the wolf pack, first of all, this is where most of the mistake came from, and the scientists who actually coined these terms have actually come back later and said, look, we made a mistake. But this is really so taken in the public psyche that they believe that this is the case, when actually a wolf pack is a family. What you consider the alpha pair are actually just the parents. The older wolves kicking about are their children from previous litters that aren't quite mature yet, because wolves take longer to mature than dogs, so they're up to about 2-year-old, still kicking about the family, learning how to adult and helping to look after the cubs. They're in no way in a constant battle to try and take over the senior position. They're not trying to become dominant, because that would mean breeding with their dad, which isn't really what they're aiming for. And there isn't a strict order that only certain wolves are ever going to be allowed to breed. All that happens is once these wolves get old enough, they leave home and start their own family, and they get to be the alphas. So there's no dog that always knows he's the bottom. There's no struggle for power. There's just a family with different personalities, just the same as in yours. And yeah, siblings can squabble and be bratty and want more attention and do all these kind of things. Now, part of the reason why this dominance thing became so prevalent in our mind is that humans are probably about the most hierarchical species there is, really. We're the ones seeking for power and everything else. But if you think about that, if you think about children in a playground, if one goes over and takes the toys from the other one, we don't look at that and go, oh, the one that took the toys, he's the dominant, we have to support him, that's fantastic. The other one's a submissive, he's just got to learn his place. That's not how we behave. So why do we do it with dogs? If you imagine that child, that if you said they were dominant and you let them do what they want and you supported them because they were the dominant child, what kind of person would they be? They wouldn't be a very decent person. And the person that we said was the submissive one, they would be fairly unconfident and down most of their lives. So it would not be good. And it's the same for dogs. If you let a dog get away with taking stuff and basically bullying other dogs, and you support them because they're the alpha, they're the dominant ones, then you're actually just teaching them to be a fairly horrible dog. So what actually is dominance, if it's not what we think it is? The actual scientific term is the preferential access to a preferred resource, a resource just being something that they want, like food or even a fuss from you. It's just talking about the interaction of two dogs over one thing that they both want, and the one who gets it, either by taking it or by the other one letting them take it, the one that takes it has dominated the situation. They can dominate a situation, but they're not dominant. It doesn't mean that every single time they'll take it, they're just maybe more likely to take it. It doesn't mean if dog A wins the encounter over dog B, but then dog B wins an encounter over dog C, it doesn't mean that dog A is going to win over dog C. It's not necessarily linear like that. It depends on a lot of factors. And it's not actually important to the training your dog of a lot of things, other than being aware of it. Rather than saying, oh, my dog's dominant because when there's a ball thrown in the park, he'll always take the ball off of other dogs. That's not dominant, that's just rude. So we train him not to take other people's stuff. Or we be aware that he's going to and call him away and don't give him the opportunity to. But there's no behaviour that's dominant, certainly not. If a dog wants to get up on the sofa, he's not dominating you. You can have perfectly well behaved dogs that come up on the sofa. They come up because it's comfy, it's close to you, and it smells like you. If you don't want stinky, mucky dogs on your sofa, then that's fine. But if you do want them on the sofa but have decided not to let them up because you're afraid that they're going to dominate you, then you're just missing out for no reason. So let your dogs come up for a cuddle. I hope you enjoyed today's video and learnt something from it. Please, if you liked it, come back and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.